Daniel, that person that Letiwe was speaking to is talking about corruption and how, the same people get the same tenders and how that the president needs to actually help business get through a pandemic stage in our existence. Can he actually do that, though?
Well, look, I think from the business community itself, they've been calling for two critical issues. One, for government to get out of the business that it's not good at. In other words, to lessen its grip on the state-owned enterprises in particular and allow for much greater public-private participation. Now, in all fairness, certainly on the issue of Transnet, we have seen government make greater approaches to business, and there are major cooperative projects on the go, particularly in KwaZulu-Natal. Now, I think that's what business is calling for. I think business would like that extended to a much broader range of cooperative opportunities within South Africa. And on that basis, I think you can begin to rebuild some of the services that have largely been wasted away for the last decade. And there's tremendous opportunity, for that matter, for business to step in where government has failed. So even from a business point of view in South Africa, the business community can lament the security situation we spoke about earlier, but the opportunity to rebuild in South Africa remains very, very strong and very real. And there's great profit to be had for business if they are allowed to enter into these areas where the state had wanted to be in control. And that's another issue of the ideological battles that exist within the ANC. To what degree is the party ready to accept the fact that the state has failed to lead? The developmental state has not been a success in South Africa, and in fact there's not much else left other than to allow the private sector to enter into many of these hitherto state-run sectors. And I think that's a critical question that we'll wait to see whether there's more give from government ideologically on that in the speech tonight.
All right, stay with us throughout the afternoon. Thanks so much for the analysis, Daniel Silke. But Masego, before we go back to you, I want to give you some background on the City Hall building. So let's give you a shot there. Of course, South Africa, right? We have so much to be proud of when you see that flag, this rainbow nation that has done so much for us to be in existence equally. Our struggle heroes fought for us to be here on an equal basis and footing. Nelson Mandela's statue is at City Hall because he addressed crowds after his release from prison. And this building, just in terms of the history, that clock, let's get a close-up of the clock, because it's very interesting what this clock represents. Colonialism, ultimately, because it is a replica of the Big Ben clock in London. And the bricks that are actually used to build this building are from Europe. And this clock is exactly half the size, we're told, of the London Big Ben clock. And the significance you can draw yourself. But this is where we are, and it's a history that, of course, you can't wipe away. It's a history that we can only grow from, and it's brought us to a rainbow nation. Unfortunately, we heard from Frank Chikane, one of the veterans, last night, saying that this is not the South Africa that they fought for. A lot of work needs to be done, and hopefully tonight, President Cyril Ramaphosa will be able to give us some hope by talking facts and not just fiction. Back to you.
Right, of course, we'll be going back to Shahan Ramkissoon and the rest of the team throughout the course of the afternoon for a build-up to the President's State of the Nation address at 7 o'clock tonight. And as you know, eNCA will have that address for you live.